Welcome my friends, this is Maniacal Incorporated and today we continue our push into the southwest of Ireland. We've taken Cashel and Flanshina's army is within striking distance of Lismore. We have the remnants of Cashel over here. They've taken Ross from us and we're about to take that back. We have two of the largest armies on the island, Alloch and Arguilla, sieging Cork. And Dublin, well, Dublin's being Dublin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Flanshina's army. We're going to march him on Lismore. And I'm going to trust in some of the comments from the last video. To trust in the auto-resolve. To forgive the auto-resolve. For bad experiences I might have had with older Total War games, to ignore the myths, the lies, that the auto-resolve is chaotic and incompetent. Siege the settlement. Okay, we won't go for that. We will go for the auto-resolve. Because we have a vastly superior army. We'll go with a balanced fight. And Flan has run him through. Let's see what the casualties are like. There you go. Not too bad. Not too bad. We can't complain about that. So that was a rebel army that had taken Lismore at the end of the last episode. We can now march on to Ardmore, which will complete Imloch Ur and Cashel and Lismore, all part of the one region. I'm going to take Fudd and march him in this direction. I seem to have my moves very well prepared, don't I? So we'll march him there, and we'll have him raid this area at the start of the next turn. I don't think he can do it now. He cannot. And we will take Donica, stark raving mad Donica from the end of the last episode, and we will ignore Donica. Lismore has damaged iron vines, the vines on which the iron grows. So we will fix those and we will take Donica's army. And we're going into Cashel. No, this isn't Cashel. This is Ross. It's Cashel that's in there. And I would have fought this kind of a 12 to a 6, but then again, this army has been absolutely wiped. So we will auto-resolve, and we'll stick with balanced. He was standing in the smoke, sure. He wasn't going to do any good blinding himself, standing inside in the smoke. So 26 to 161. And occupy.
My strength grows greater.
So there you go, thank you for joining me on this episode. We've had a couple of major battles, about the same number as most other episodes. We've taken 2 settlements, so I suppose we might as well call it there. Oh wait, no. We've saved a good chunk of time. So I should have probably put my faith in the auto-resolve earlier. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with the horse boys. Those units of horse boys running around, causing trouble. We've more damaged buildings in Ross. Oh, they've damaged the cows. Repair the cows. So, on the next turn, Donica is going to have to march on Kilvickeada because, yeah, this madness will never end until we wipe Cashel out completely. Flan, hopefully, will march on Ardmore. Fudd will start raiding in this region. He could just march. And then we're talking about trying to get up into Limerick to... I'm still hoping that they'll take Tungrena. If we take this region, it's going to suffer a massive happiness penalty until we can link it up with Inishfallen. That's going to take a while. And of course, this is then our eventual target, Ross Alher. The thing is, we don't need Inishfallen, do we? No. There's a monastic house. where Brian Boru would later study. Apparently, when he was 10 years of age, he was studying here, and he was sent for, or people were sent to take him back to their hereditary lands around here. Their father had been killed by Vikings in the process of basically deciding the successor was in place, but it was done to protect him. So there was fears that there might be maybe an attempt to kill Brian and to kill other members of the family. That's one of the stories. Anyway, a lot of the stories relating to Brian come from the Coggail Regalov, the Wars of the Irish with the Foreigner, which is an account written by Brian's great-grandson, justifying Brian's actions. I won't say justifying them, but promoting Brian's actions and promoting Brian's descendants as the family that did the most to drive the Vikings out of Ireland. I actually think Moel Shocknail gets mentioned in there, so that'd be Flan's father. But that's Inishfallen. We don't need Inishfallen. I thought we needed Inishfallen. Fahad, raid this place to the ground. No, all we need to do is push down in this direction and take... Oh yeah, that's why we needed Inishfallen, because if we take Ras Alahar, then it'll be just a constant... Oh god. It'll be just a constant unhappiness penalty. That's why I've convinced myself that we need Inishfallen. Could we not just take this place and not deal with this? I might do that. We'll see just how much of a penalty it is. We might as well leave an army station down here. We're going to be going to war with Alec anyway, so I don't know if it makes much of a difference. Dunik is lame. Jeez, he's getting it beaten, that man. And skills available to Dunica. We'll give him a quartermaster. So I think that is everybody moved. Dublin's being mad. I would hope that these guys would march out and take North, and that these guys would march up. They'll probably march for here, first of all. They could then be heading for Ardvaka. If they can cause enough damage and take out Arguilla, that could be interesting. If they take Ardvaka, I'd go to war with them to try and take it back, and then I wouldn't have to deal with them anymore. So we'll see. Right, okay, we'll bring the year to an end and pretend that we have some plan for the season ahead. We'll bring the spring to an end. Well, somebody's lucky in love at least. Somebody wants to marry Ulkavar. Sure, absolutely, give your blessing. Now, we have a bit of an issue. Alok has taken Cork. That's fine. Arguilla's army, which assisted, is now marching towards Ras Alahar. That is not fine. That's going to be a bit of a problem. We've seen Ardmore's army has left Ardmore and headed and taken Clune. If we now take Ardmore, they will march north and take Lismore. How do I know that? Because I've lived out this timeline an infinite amount of time. Okay, twice. The first time I had a bit of a problem with the recording, and I had to start again. And the second time, I made a bit of a mistake over here with this. A bit of a weird well, I won't say it's a weird mistake, but something I had to undo. We'll talk about that now in a moment. I played out the last turn the exact same as I did the first time when I had problems with the recording. The only thing that I haven't done and won't be doing is using the opportunity, now that we have the money together, to get a major diplomatic bonus. Absolutely huge diplomatic bonus, which does nothing. So I got that the first time round. Limerick would not accept vassalization, it was insulting. Connacht would not accept marriage, it was insulting. I had Dunica take Kilviceda and kill Phelemy. Is it Phelemy? It's Phelemy. And then, when Tuavuan and Desvuan became independent, I offered a peace treaty to Avuan. They would accept. However, they will not accept vassalization. They're too strong. They're too strong. So yeah, the diplomacy bonus doesn't really do a huge amount. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. And you have to... We don't really have much diplomacy, I don't think. We'd probably... It says that the High Cross has a diplomacy bonus, but I don't see it there. Unless fame is connected to diplomacy as well. But I'm not seeing that. So yeah, the diplomacy bonus was a bit of a waste of money the last time around. Now, my mistake the last time was I took Donica, marched here, and thought, ooh, subjugate, yes. So it'll take this region, it will restore it to Wexford. It won't, not that Wexford, but basically Wexford will return. And if we can take this place then, I basically don't have to manage this place because it is a hellhole. We're going to get a massive happiness penalty. So I clicked subjugate, and of course that meant that I subjugated Tuavuan and Desvuan, which is maybe a good idea, but it was going to make getting control of Ras Alahar a lot more difficult than just going to war with Arguilla and Alach, which I'm going to have to do anyway, to get the Grianon of Alach and Armagh. So, sorry, Munster. Sorry. And failing me, the last king of Cashel will not even be granted the honour of a manual battle. Auto-resolve. Balanced. Oh, lads. Elbow to the side of the head. And yeah, we'll take on warriors. Absolutely. Will we get much money? No. Well, there's nobody to sell the captives to, I suppose. Oh, lads, look at the size of that lad. Boys, oh boys, he's been eating spuds inside the empty courthouse. He opened the chair, he'll be now soon in a minute. So there goes Cashel. There goes the neighbourhood. This place is now, oh god, going to be at a mad risk of rebellion because it's not linked to here. We're going to have to bring that army down in this direction at some stage. Have I set this lad raiding? I got myself so confused now, I'm not too sure. Put him raiding. And the entire southwest is on the verge of collapse. My hope would be that Cork will come out and attack these guys, or that these guys will attack Cork. The worst thing that could happen is for them to return. No, it wouldn't make a difference. I was going to say the worst thing to happen would be if they return to Ardmore. No, it's the exact same difference. It's the exact same difference. Right. I think that's about it. I'm not going to move Flanchina. We're a turn away from some research. We're 2 turns, I believe, away from the wrong region. 2 turns away from getting the Monastery of St. Ciaran. And we have a risk of rebellion, and Donica is now a skilled commander and a tormentor. So his loyalty has dropped by 2. That's very historically accurate. You rebellious little divilio. Right. Any problems in Kilvicada with... No. We will... And look at this now. Now that we have... Is it just this region that's generating all that food? We will bring the year to an end. We will hope that Dublin is going to continue to push in this direction. If they take Armagh, that would be fantastic. We will bring the summer to an end. Alok, the hell are you doing? Why the hell are you doing this? Why didn't you fight them? You need Clune. Okay? Well, you don't need Clune, but it's part of Cork. I don't know what to say. Right. We will start with... Oh wait, no, there it is. It was the one that was lit up telling me click here. So we haven't researched this yet. Traditions of the Spear. So -2 turns until replenishment of Spear infantry in recruitment pool, +1 unit food upkeep faction wide. I think we can shove on for a while. I think we can shove on in another direction. So that will give us Gallo Glass. So offensive tactics, +6 melee skill for sword and axe infantry. We've gotten our food surplus under control. We could go for that 30 fame. We do eventually need to... We don't need the 20 legitimacy. We could go for that. We might possibly need that at some stage. We have all of community. So yeah, we might as well wander in this direction. So that now leaves us with this absolutely chaotic situation over here. That is a hefty army, but it's suffered some attrition. And before we go sending anybody in, here is a Spear Raider. Did somebody get an upgrade? I pressed the wrong button. Upgrade is not possible. Retrain as Wood Spear. Will that... Oh god, will that prevent them from moving for the turn? Do you know what we'll do? We'll retrain you. Look at this. Oh, boys. Gotten himself an owl cloak and they can still move. They can still move, so that's fine. Oh, they're all getting cloaks. So melee damage drops. Melee skill goes up a bit. Speed drops. Morale goes up a bit. And the charge bonus goes up a bit. You know, yeah, sure. Come on, we'll put them all in cloaks. Should be rude not to. That's a substantial difference, though. Just going to keep doing this for the next half an hour. So, big boost to melee skill, big boost to a lot of stuff. So that's fantastic. Okay, right. And Fahad, we might, oh, he doesn't have anyone to upgrade, so that's that job done. Right. We will march on Ardmore. Look at this. 17, 18, 20. So we're going to have, oh my god, 20 something, over 3,000 troops. Do you know what? We'll fight it. Manual battle for Ardmore. I haven't set these guys up in any way coherent of a fashion, other than I've put them on the opposite side of the field to where our allies are going to come in. And here are some of the Raider swordsmen, and here are our wood spears, and because they're hats, the little hats that they have, that means that they can get out beyond these white lines, and they can actually get closer to the enemy, so we could use them for ambushing and various things in some later battles. No great spots today, and I don't think the enemy is going to be coming towards us. I should bring these guys a bit further forward, but I'm not going to. And there's no... Oh, there is an enemy. So already the poor lads are in a bad way. We can see that they're basically retreating back towards Arguilla's or Alex's army. So that's not good. That's not good. For them. I was just about to say, that's it. Alec, mighty work, great job. They've killed the general. They've already killed the enemy general. So, do you know what? Fair play to them. They are doing great work. We'll stay back here and catch any stragglers that come back in this direction. Oh wait, that's their horse boys. That's Alec's horse boys. Is this the first time that we have fought on the same side as Alec? So at any look, we will take control of this province, having killed like 20 people. Okay, well, there you go. The king of Alec is dead. I don't know what to say about you people. So somebody is charging purposefully towards us, or at least was. never mind. I literally didn't have time to lay out my armies, so I don't know what's going on. Well, this was an absolutely chaotic route. I have no idea what exactly happened inside in the tree line between Alec and Tuavuan. It didn't go well, though. It did not go well. And there you go. I would say that that is as much as we will get done. Good job, Alec. Good job. Oh, boys, they have a march back to Armagh with their king. The kings of the northern Enail would have been traditionally buried in Alec, and the southern Enail would have been buried in Clonmacnoise. So they have a bit of a march. So we lost 12 forces. Well, there you go. We pretty much had no involvement in this battle whatsoever. The horse boys took out a few people. I think the horse boys took out like 20 troops before this army collapsed. So, good job. And I forgot to check, was their army utterly annihilated? It was. I expected it was going to fall back on Lismore. Well, there you go. We have completed the conquest of Cashel. I would hope, do I care, that Alec would take Clune, and then we're basically pushing northwards against them, and I imagine quite shortly there we see that 20k army, or that 20 stack army, and it has taken Ross Allagher, so we're probably going to see the annihilation of Cathardonal. And again, like I said, the only thing that can pretty much help us now is if these guys keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And well, I was going to say Ardvaca is the most sensible place for them to go next. No, Noth is. Then Ardvaca. We'll see what happens there. Right? We have the entire area. And we've been making bronze, which is making people unhappy. Upsetting them, but it's bringing in money. It is bringing in money. What could we convert it to? A copper mine, even more public order unhappiness, would increase copper production. Construction costs for all industry buildings in the regions adjacent. Don't really care too much about that. And fish. We could convert the fish to a fish trader. 94 income from farm, 100 income from farm. Oh, it doesn't make a difference. We make our money from churches. So not from fish, from churches. The only thing that I would consider converting would be the abattoir, converting that to the actual pasture chain. We leave it as it is for now. And yeah, I suppose start trying to get together the money, the moolah, for that option. So, on the next turn, we should see that monastery being built. We leave you raiding. We leave you there dealing with the unhappiness. So an entire 12-stack army dealing with one tiny region. And hoping that Cork will move in this direction. Pretty much what we're now doing is waiting to see how Dublin responds, because all of the other areas that I need to control are now within the territory of my allies. Dublin, it's up to you. Make a move. Well, lads, would you look at this? They're after putting a Kerryman in charge of Alec. So in Killarney, they have recruited Cernach to lead the forces of Alec to become the new king. There's Niall, or Niall. No idea what's happening down here now. Dublin has indeed done something, and by something I mean nothing. They've lost Skerries, and yeah, I have no idea what they're doing. The only one that's doing anything productive is Limerick. Our allies, Limerick, they have declared war on Tuavuan, and they have taken Tuamgrena, so they might push in here and take these regions. The risk of rebellion is still very high in Wexford. So that is something. Do you know, are we just going to have to leave you there until we can attack Wexford? Is that the way it's going to go? So here is Muelfaldrig. We can't offer him land. So I would like to try and offer him. I don't want this land. I had to take it to stop this war that I started. We built a monastery. It's not all bad news. We built a monastery. There you go. So what's next? Oh, do you know what? We have the money for that. That would bring us up to the cathedral, which I think is one of the actual targets. How many turns away is that? 12. That's the thing, is it's going to take a tremendous length of time to build these buildings. That's minus 100 food production, which I think is maybe another 75, or another 25, I should say. Yeah. Massive public order bonus, but we're suffering a massive public order... Well, I won't say a deficit at the moment. Decreases construction cost. We're not constructing anything. Increases church income. And provides a big, hefty garrison. And we should be able to build something here now. I was going to build the High Cross, but I don't think it does anything, really. Other than gives us fame, which we don't really need. I suppose, look, do you know what? I mean, come on. It's Clan MacNoise. It has to have a High Cross. It's not Clan MacNoise without a High Cross. So we'll put that in there, and we will... If it's going to take 12 turns, that's 3 years. So, do you know what? We're not spending the money on nothing else, so we might as well. We're not getting traditions anyway, or not traditions, but decrees. So what do we do down here? I'm probably going to march Flan's army back towards Clan MacNoise, because I don't think he can... I don't think he needs to train. Oh, there's a couple of them that need to be trained. I don't believe that can be done outside of Clan MacNoise, or maybe even Akabo. No. What do you need? 3,500. Oh, well, you're not part of the... You're not part of the victory chain. You are 5,280. Which will put us there at level 4. So that's 7 grand. Oh, Lord. Oh, boys. And that's without even taking the other 2 places. So what do we have down here? There's Clune, which is part of Cork. And like I said, well, your man's going to take that. We could actually probably get in ahead of him and take it, but I don't really want to. We could take here, but that's going to be another region that we'll then have to kind of control. But if we take Ross Allher, we'll have to try and control Inishfallen as well anyway. Without offering them, without wasting money on a diplomacy. Military alliance. Insulting. You can have my daughter. Insulting. What would we have to do? Marry off the daughter first of all, to try and build diplomatic relations? Insulting. Fine, go away. Lads, you could just march north and take Skerries. I don't fully understand what you're waiting for. We're going to, yeah, okay. I'll start the process. Will he get into trouble if he's not in bed? We'll send him there. If he's not in bed, all tucked up for the winter, we'll dump him there. He's not taking attrition. And Donacaz is stuck there in Waterford for a while. I did see +1 happiness, +1 order in all regions. We will bring the winter of 893 to an end. Absolute divils.
Success brings greater power.
Absolute divils. Fair car. Oh, God. So here was our army sieging here. And these guys have gone on a solo run. We'll have to send them in to fight them. I would be surprised if we need to actually fight them. So auto-resolve and balance tactics. Didn't even get... Oh jeez, he's on fire. Didn't even get a blow in. And there is another king of somewhere gone. So we will occupy the settlement and I'll leave him there to regroup some forces for a while. Lots of people getting skills. We'll deal with Flan. Give him a champion. His command is dropping a bit. We'll give him a champion. We will have Flan continue his circuit. That's what he's doing. He's doing a big circuit. We'll have him head for Cashel. My god, it's going to take him ages to actually get back to Clonmacnoise. The problem is, do I even want him to... Well, yeah, sure. We can have him take charge of the push north. So that makes sense. We'll bring him up there and we'll have him up there ready to push north. We will... I'll have to probably try and bring Fahad up to a 20 stack. And have the two of them... Well, we could have one of them deal with what's going on in this region. I would be hoping that Alach and Argilla would evacuate this region, that they would move north, possibly to even consider dealing with Dublin. If they were to reach Dublin, I would probably declare war on them. There's some argy-bargy between some of the Scottish troops that have come across, or the regions in Scotland that have come across. We leave them alone, we leave them alone. Right, Flan is marching in that direction. Fahad is taking a bit of a break to regain some troops. This lad is staying here, preventing Kilviceda from rebelling for now, which is a bit of a nuisance. We will bring the turn to an end. Faircar has become lush after becoming a bit problematic in the last season. And we now have technology. So we could push for wolfhounds and foreign warriors. Foreign warriors. Galoglas. Oh, the Galoglas. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense. The Gologlig replace foreign warriors. +1 public order in all regions. It's not great, but it's something. It's better than 0. A minor diplomatic penalty? Oh no. That would be terrible. Yeah, so that's really all we have. Oh, sure, there's the little fascines at the bottom. I forgot about that. So that's not really much of a help. So yeah, this is the only little green man. We might as well go for it. And we're also told that the High Cross has been built at Clonmacnoise. There it is. Out in the middle of a little area all to itself. And we can immediately upgrade that for +4 public order and some more church money. Blanchina has heard that there is a high cross being built at Clonmacnoise, and that man loves a good high cross, so he does. We will march him into Cashel.
We will not fail you.
And recruit units. What are we going to give him? What are we going to give him? He has no axemen. Now we could give him another unit of the swordsmen, the Arig Warband. They're pricey. So we'll give him 1 unit of these because he doesn't have any at the moment. We could give him another unit of javeliners. And another cavalry unit to help hunt things down. There'll be no dags. There'll be no dags. And there you go. The High King has a A 20 stack army, all of his own. So we'll get him marching for... They won't recruit as quickly, but we will get him marching for... We will get him marching for...
Foe shall fall.
I will go to Seer, considering it's so close to Akabo.
None shall stand against us.
Do I want to recruit more here? We'll just start the process. We'll start the process. Get you because it's cheap, and a unit of Arik horsemen would have been handy. And look, it's Donica. Donica, how are you doing? No, Donica, no, I haven't completely forgotten about you and left you here in the wastelands to die. No. Don't say that. Don't be silly. Here's some units for you. So we might possibly be seeing Aloc's army prepping to march on... What direction are you pointing? I don't know. They might be prepping to march on Cahardonal. We're seeing...
Not possible.
Carnoch. Wandering around the place. Happy out. There's the new king
Can't do that.
of what's left of Puavuan. Is he within striking distance of anything we have? If he heads in this direction, we'll have to send Fahad. Can Fahad reach him in time? No.
We do best.
So if he heads in this direction, Lord save us all. And Dublin has done something. Dublin has moved on Clonaish. Dublin is pushing in to Arguilla. They've left here behind them. They've left here behind them. Bless them, but they're doing something. They're causing trouble. They're causing trouble. Fair play to them. So yeah, if they could destabilize that region, that would be fantastic. And there's Rothkroken just standing around doing nothing. We will bring this turn to an end. The summer of 894, and it's all on Dublin at the moment. All eyes are on Dublin to see what they will do, what devilment and bedlam and anarchy they will cause. Desmond has been destroyed. Cahardonal has indeed fallen.
Great deeds.
Flanchilla has become self-sustaining. He's put solar panels on his crown. And yeah, Ermon's got a thirst for knowledge. Cahardonal has fallen to Arguilla. And we can see that Alok has set sail. Seriously? The greatest battle in history is about to be waged
No way.
between just two men.
Never.
He's 19.
Not possible.
He's a bit hyped up. A 19-year-old carryman with a horse, and he's off. He's after shooting in across the border in towards Limerick, and yeah, there's a good chance that there's some trouble going to be caused there. I have no idea what he's doing. What are these guys doing? Okay, so Limerick itself is actually pushing towards Inishcarthig, and yeah, they probably won't do anything about that then, will they? So my hope is that, yeah, basically we're seeing an evacuation from the south as they head towards this scenario. We're seeing Dublin's forces on the border with Clogher, and of course we're not going to see Dublin take Ardvaca because they're not going to take settlements. Especially not with an 8 stack. We have an 11 stack that has finally taken Noth. I would hope that they would march on Skerries. I don't care about Skerries. But yeah, they're going to probably take Clogher and then start pushing for Ord Sroha. Possibly Dunanaul. And Rathlorig, maybe? I don't know. I don't think they'll go for the Greenon itself, and I don't think I'd say they'll probably surround and leave Ordvak until the end. So this should be interesting. Okay, we're beginning to see the preparations, or laying the ground for an advance that that Flanshina might be able to make.
On the warpath.
He's on the warpath. The warpath to Seer. To Seer what he can seer. And are we still dealing with an issue in Wexford? We might... See, the problem is that if we abandon that, that's Ross gone, Kilkenny gone, Ferns gone, Clonmore, Tinvermore, Glendalough. That's the whole thing just gone. So... yeah. Well, yeah, okay, so we can keep him there. And if a war does break out, his first job will be to attack Waterford. So he'll need more forces for that.
The men are eager to get to it.
He will need swordsmen for that. They're not great, but they're cheap. And so the first great battle for the southwest peters to an end. Kind of peters out more so than anything. Here is the last stronghold that we're... well, realistically here's the last stronghold. But here's the last region that we're kind of concerned about. Once this falls, if this falls, then Imloch Ur is safe. This entire region basically is safe. Is it? Because I imagine there's going to be a lot of very unhappy people down here. So Ardfirth is fine. Clune and Cork are fine. Inishfallen, and because it controls here, is fine. So at the moment, this place is prone to rebellion. We could feasibly see... oh, that'd be insane if Ross Allachar just fell of its own accord. Fahad, have your running shoes on. Flanshina continues his trek north to prepare for an actual push into the north, depending on what bedlam and anarchy and rulabula the Vikings can cause. Donnacha's stone mad. We will bring the autumn of 894 to an end. We will see what scenario that leaves us in. And I think that might be it for today, because I'm doubting that there's going to be any more great battles for a while until the war against Alec and Arguilla begins. This, however, will undoubtedly be a war for the ages. Oh lord, is another king of Alec dead? The first Kerryman that they put in charge of Alec is dead. Donncha has become a butcher. Ehrman has become practiced. Alamgeld protects his town, fair play to him. And he's also become fair-minded. Oh lord, there was an army there. And now there isn't. There's a 16-stack army there. And Niall, he was overlooked for a 19-year-old Kerryman the last time round. And now he has his time. Does he have a time to shine? Is he the new king? Yeah. So, there you go. They just, I don't know what the whole scenario there was. They put a Kerryman in charge and just took off. Just left him. Left him to his own devices. So yeah, there you go. The Vikings are absolutely breaking my heart. They still haven't taken Skerries. I don't really care, but the problem is if Skerries raises an army and takes Lochgower or Noth, then it's going to be problematic. The other issue is they've pushed up, they've taken Clogher. I would imagine Ordsroha is where they're heading for next. The issue, of course, is that, do you know what? He's a good bit back. He's a good bit back. Coleman. It's going to take him a turn. Easily 2 turns, if not more. It's going to take him about 3 turns, and then the AI isn't going to remember how to get ashore anymore. So that's going to take him a while. It could be 3 to 4 turns before they're at Dublin. Whether a 20-stack army of Arguilla has what it takes to take Dublin, I'm not too sure. We're beginning to see No, we're not beginning to see anything. What's confusing me is I haven't seen these guys, Argilla. I haven't seen their armies head in this direction, because if Armagh was to fall, Waterford is the only major settlement that they possess. And Limerick hasn't taken Inishcarthig yet, and our army here is going to have to replenish a bit more, because these guys, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what they're going to do, so I'll have to actually stick some more forces in here. We haven't gotten a new melee cavalry unit yet. We'll give you some. We'll give you a skirmisher. And we'll probably give you another spearman. The risk of rebellion is still dropping in this region. It could drop a bit further, and it will on the next turn.
War is what we do best.
We will... Who will we recruit? Now, a war boy isn't going to do much good if we're going in against the actual settlement itself. Says he then, picking a war boy. We will give you another spearman, which will bring it up to 6, and we might need to give you... Do you know what? Because I don't have any of them yet. That is 18. That will be 19. That will be 20. That'll be pricey. That will be pricey. Okay, it hasn't actually factored in the food yet. That'll bring us down to 21 food. So we're pretty much committing to a war before the monastery is completed. Probably shouldn't have taken those horseboys. Probably should have taken axemen instead. And again, we select Flanchina's great army, and we will keep him on the march. Do you know what? We won't. We'll bypass Seir, and we will attempt to head straight for Clonmacnoise, and it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that his arrival, he will arrive just one turn before the completion of the High Cross. So just in time to see it elevated from a High Cross to a High Cross. Effectively. And we are actually getting attrition from... Is that Flan's army? So we were getting attrition. Damn. I would have parked him in Seir if I'd seen that earlier. But I didn't. I wasn't watching. Hundreds of men will die outside the walls of Clonmacnoise because Flan is mad to get in there to unveil a High Cross. I'll bring this turn to an end. I'll bring this turn to an end. I'm hoping that we'll see a march on Inishcarthig. I'm quizzical as to what these guys are going to do. I'm interested to see how Dublin preps for a landing. And we'll get the next bit of technology going as well. Oh wow, okay. Connacht and Tuavuan have declared war on each other. Who declared war on who? Did Connacht declare war? Connacht gets off its arse to actually do something. Well done. Round of applause. Bulabus. And I think that has led to the rather peculiar scenario of these guys moving northwards. You have taken Inishcarthig. Well done. So they're now reduced to Carcommon and to Drumcolliher, I think it is. Right, what's going on up here? Flan, get in there.
Forward we go.
Forward you go. So we have a lot of troops that we can upgrade, and we will need those upgrades for our march north. We don't have a tremendous amount of money. Says the man, who then goes and upgrades every single unit. So they're all on mithril armor, I believe. Oh no, armoring 2. And we've developed irrigation, which is going to keep some people happy. All the lads reading books, they're all delighted. Now, I think in terms of civic tech, there isn't a huge amount that we can do. That'll give us farming income. That will increase food production in all regions, which could be helpful. Now, I say there a couple of turns back that we're committing to a war within a couple of turns. We'll come back to this in a second, because what we're going to need to do, like I said, this is going to hit 7. That's going to be a 25 extra food production requirement. At the moment, there is nothing, I don't think, that we can upgrade that can overcome that. I think the only thing that we have is in Cashel, and it's going to be 2,200, so we're not going to be able to do it at the next turn, or the turn after, and then it's going to be 4 turns to get it done. So the other thing that we could, of course, do is declare war and take Wexford. I don't know if there's anything actually in there. There you go, granary. So it'll get us some extra food. If we manage to take Wexford in the next few turns, our legitimacy is falling because we're not nor doing nothing. And there is the army of Muelpothric marching out of the far south. And do you know what? He could very well get himself trapped in the middle of the country by the time that we push for war with the northern powers. And Dublin has taken Skerries. Its main force has disappeared, however. I'm not too sure where they've gone for. Have they pushed too far forward to Ordstroha? Because they're not going to be able to challenge the Grianon of Alach. And we have the forces of Coleman. So Niall's army is down here somewhere. Oh jeez, Niall's having a bit of a break. I don't know where he's after going to. He's back around Schlehead or something. I'm not too sure. But there you go. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if Alec and Argilla know, but the country is on the verge of what I would hope would be the final cataclysmic war that will get for us all the things that we need. Ross Allagher, the Grianon of Alach, and Armagh, Patrick's Cathedral at Armagh. As there's nothing that we can do in the civil focus, we might as well begin pushing for dags and foreign warriors to assist us in our war, which will begin on the next episode. Thank you for joining me on this one, and I hope that you will join me on the next episode, because we need somebody to control the dogs.